It's absolutely normal, common, and most importantly, human to feel afraid, to feel as if you are embarrassed to seek help when you're in a time of crisis. What we usually find is that when people are in their deepest, darkest times, their behavior changes, their attitude changes, everything around them changes, and what they are trying to do is potentially get out of this bad place. And they start by trying to do this alone. Now, this is a human nature. We try and do things so that others, because we have to fit in with society, we don't want people to believe there's something wrong with us. So we put on a facade, we show them that we're okay, but behind closed doors, things are going wrong. And the reality is that the people around you are already picking up on traits, behavior, attitude, the way you speak, the way you act, and can tell that there's something different, something going wrong. Maybe not to the degree that it is because you're trying to put on a great mask or a great facade. But the reality is people already understand that something shifted in your character. And as humans, we want to fit in with society. We want to be valued. We want that validation from the world that we're okay, we're good enough, and we fit in with society. But what happens is when we're in a time of crisis and we are stuck, we have this fear that the world will now judge us because we have a problem. And what I realize is it takes people till they crash and burn to ask for help. Why is that? Well, judgment, fear, not knowing who to ask, not knowing where to start. And the biggest tip I can give you is when you're in a time of crisis and you've identified it, try and identify it obviously early, but reach out straight away to anyone. It could be to a friend, it could be to someone that it could be to a professional. You can Google a list of people that can help you for any illness, any issue, any crisis, anything, right? But find someone where you can accept and create accountability to you having an issue or needing help or seeking out guidance. What that does, it allows you to first be accountable, but to also accept in your mind and physically that you can't do this alone, and it's okay that you can't do it alone. The fear of being judged by other people, it's funny. We look at it as, I've got to tell someone I have a problem, they're going to think something bad of me. But the reality is, if you start messing up your character, your jobs, your careers, your friendships, your relationships, without telling them there's something wrong, you're getting judged because they just think there's nothing wrong with you and you're just being a shit human. So it's almost the lesser of two evils where you're saying, well, hey, look, there's something wrong. And people really appreciate that. People really admire that. And what usually happens is you'll find common ground with many. As a human in our lifetime, we are going to go through crisis and problems and obstacles, and it's inevitable. We are not going to avoid that by any means. So most humans have common ground somewhere when you bring up something. Now, my tip to those who get reached out to, yes, it's nice to be able to say, yeah, me too, I've experienced that, but don't. At first, just listen. Hear them out and show them that you can give them some support or that you can help guide them to get support. Don't judge them. Don't try and question why it's happening or why they're doing it. Just sit there and just say, yeah, I'm here for you. All right, what do you want me to do? How can I help you? And then as time progresses and when you can find common ground, that is when you can slowly, be more comforting with, your own personal account. But throwing your own personal account into someone else's face is not going to help them. So at the beginning, when you're in a crisis, identified and then seek out help. Find anyone that you feel comfortable to talk to, anyone that, whether it's a close friend, family member, a partner, or a random stranger that you can seek guidance from. But remember, as a human, it's inevitable that we're going to go through crisis, or we're going to go through an obstacle or some kind of hardship. And it's okay to seek help, because at the end of the day, you are human and you need to be able to, yes, fit in with society and find the validation from the world to a certain extent, but you also need to be okay for you. And if you are trying to do this alone, you are going to find that you will put yourself aside in a bubble and you will neglect yourself from the world. And as humans, we're a community, we're tribes, we need to work together to help each other. So utilize the people around you. Ask for help, reach out to anyone, and really understand that it's okay to feel embarrassed. It's okay to feel like you're failing. Just don't quit. Just give it a good shot. Ask for help and know that part of that process of healing and and fixing the problem or making something better is going to be hard bloody work.